Welcome back to another episode of Let's Go Hunt, where we talk about your mom's pistol holster. Tonight on the show, we have Sam Alexander, lineman, Mike Gonzalez, now with false self-confidence upgrade, Dave Packard, hot as fuck, temperature-wise, and tiptoeing around, I'm Vince H. Tonight on the show, around the campfire, we do not have another Dave. That was last week. On the show this week, we have our friend, Klecker Tactical.
I thought his name was Dave.
Is his name Dave?
It's his
Are
name's
we on
Charles.
three
now.
Daves now?
He wrote
It
down
is now.
Charles. It says Charles on the thing.
That's
It's
like
Charles
Dave.
Klecker Tact. I don't know how he got his legal name changed to Klecker Tactical, but that's pretty
That's
cool.
like Dave Light. Charles Dave. Same.
Our Dave, High Point Dave, Dave Light.
Charlie Dave. I don't know.
So I don't think Klecker knew he was going to come on the show and get belittled immediately, but
It's not belittling. We're just
can
giving
try.
him a new name.
it's hazing. And hazing's wrong.
No, it's not. You
Bring
don't have.
back hazing, bring back bullying.
Yeah, this country went downhill when we stopped hazing people.
And
Yes.
spanking people. And yeah. Anyway. Hey man, how's it going?
Good. It's going down in the shop.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started doing holsters, what you did, give us a rundown.
The whole path.
Yeah,
So
what is a Klecker
uh,
Tactical?
What is
Yeah.
a holster?
you put things and it holds things, and everybody needs that thing.
Oh, a purse.
You make purses?
Blaster holder, blaster. Yeah. So, I did 8 years in the Marine Corps. I was a 0311, and which is an infantry rifleman, but I was a reservist, and I did not get any combat time, but I did get a lot of training time. So I was a combat marksmanship coach. I was a firearms instructor. I deployed to Central America to be the lead fire instructors on a mobile team. And once I got back from that, I realized I liked just teaching and instructing. So 2017, I went and got my NRA certs and became an NRA instructor. This was back before I knew anything about the NRA and their shenanigans. So did that for about 3 or 4 years. And then one of my friends in the Marine Corps was like, hey, you can go to school now and use your GI Bill, and you can go to school for gunsmithing. And I was like, oh, that sounds cool. Let's do that. So I went to SDI, which is Sonoran Industrial Institute. It's pretty much
Mhm.
an all online school. I know it gets a lot. They've got a lot of crap that's kind of going 50-50 on people's opinions on SDI, but I got a lot from it. Anyway, through that, there was a class in there about holsters. There was a Kydex class. It was about a week or 2 weeks long, and you had to make your own holster. And I just kind of started from there to make my own, make friends and families. And someone gave me the bright idea, like, hey, you could probably make money from doing this. I was like, yeah, maybe. Maybe I can add it to firearms instruction and gunsmithing. And just piled everything in. And as I weeded everything out, because trying to do all those things at the same time is just really tasking for one person. So trying to have a range, do classes, also bring in guns for gunsmithing and doing that, so it was just too much. So I whittled it down to just holsters. In about 2022, I officially started my LLC, created an e-commerce website, and I've been kind of running with that ever since, and it's been growing and expanding. So not just from holsters, but accessories, and expanding outside of holsters for just firearms, but different things. Like I've done some custom jobs for random things. I've done knives. I've done challenge coins for police officers. I've done vape carriers and things like that. I've got some.
Did you say
I haven't done
carriers?
pliers. Yeah. So the Breeze Pros,
I
Breeze
think
Pro,
the
and the
hairs
Breezes.
on Dave's neck just prickled up. He's like, ooh.
So I would make about 40 a week for a local smoke shop, and they'd buy they'd sell about 40 or so a week. Just a little neck lanyard for like the Breezes.
So with every fifth one, did you include a free tampon holster?
No, but
No, that's called
I
a-
will make one.
How do you get it to lock in?
It's just by tension. So I just
No,
make it.
I
to
mean
where-
a tampon.
yeah, just pressure. You got to Kegels.
It's not
Ask-
supposed to lock in. I don't
ask-
think.
Ask the
Everything
guy
has
with
to
the
lock in
ponytail.
Kydex.
Now, I was going to ask about a holster for a butt out tool, and that's supposed to lock in.
You got to lock in your holster for your butt out
Yeah.
tool. Dave was showing off his pliers. I made him a nice holster for his pliers. It was my first thing ever, and
That was your first thing ever?
basically,
You couldn't tell me that?
You're my first customer, first thing for my customers. And the way I made it, I could see the weaknesses, but it only had 2 attach points. And after a couple of years of getting in and out of the truck and getting snagged on stuff, it cracked and broke, which I was like, oh no, that's so sad.
I
But-
missed that thing so fucking much.
I told you I'd send me your shit and I'll make you another one for free.
I know, but it's so the way he had it set up was, imagine my douche flute is my flashlight.
Your douche
And
light.
it was sitting just like this, and it was taco style, and I had my flashlight and my pliers, and it was great because it didn't fucking flop around like a leather holster or anything.
And then you
And,
don't lose your retention. Leather is always
Yeah.
people are like, oh, I love my leather, love my leather. I'm like, leather has 2 places in this world. When it comes to holsters, and that's old Western shooters, old Western guns. You can't go wrong with a leather holster. You can't put an old Western gun in a Kydex holster.
I mean, you can. It just looks weird.
No,
Yeah,
you
it's just-
can't.
Even when you got like a Smith
No.
and Wesson 500 in a chest holster for like Alaska, it still fucking looks weird in Kydex.
Well, no, that's different. That's not an old Western gun.
No,
it's not,
you're-
but it's still a revolver, and
That's
it still
right.
looks weird in my head.
But
It's like trying to throw a
revolvers-
cat. Like you try and put an Old West holster in a Kydex, it just kind of it won't.
yeah, you got an
It
old
won't do
single
it.
shot, or a single action revolver that's going in a leather holster. Drop, and then the other thing is if you have some revolvers. Now that's just because large frame revolvers is very difficult to do Kydex for, because they are so heavy that you're using a lot of material, and it's hard because I'd have to have the actual revolver for it, so it's difficult to do. But
Mhm.
honestly, Kydex is the way because it doesn't lose and deteriorate or biodegradable like leather is. People don't realize that their leather has to be cared for, oiled, and cleaned like more than just annually. My Kydex holsters, you just have to rinse them out, blow them with an air gun, or dry them, and they're serviced and clean.
No, around here, if I'm carrying it inside the waistband, it's oiled. I'll tell you what.
Right,
Gross.
but that moisture is going to get in there, and it's going to start to degrade that leather more because it's sweat, not oil.
Yeah, I
It'll
know.
start to degrade. You'll
It's
notice that
corrosive.
leather will start to break
gross.
down, and you'll lose that firmness that you get. So your retention loosens over time.
Mhm.
You can kind of adjust it. The other thing is that it's an organic material, so organic materials attract more dirt and dust and foreign materials, and acts as more as sandpaper. So anytime someone's like, "Oh, is the Kydex going to wear my finish like my leather won't?" I'm like, no, leather's going to tarnish, and it's going to burn out your finish probably faster than the plastic will.
Like they
Because
don't
the
notice all
plastics
those
have-
shiny spots on their bluing. Like
Yeah,
that's
But-
what
No,
it is.
I joked earlier. One day, I was carrying an old Ruger Police Service 6 in an inside the waistband leather holster while out hunting. This is probably 14 years ago. I went out for one day, came back, and there was rust all over that gun because that leather
all that
soaks
moisture.
up that sweat, and it was a little warm out. And,
Vince juice.
Yeah, the Vince juice on the gun and in the leather. And yeah,
Went out to Ohio
nice
for
and
3
pitted up.
days and came back with a rusted 365 in mags.
until those 365s come from the factory rusted. What are you talking about?
hey, if it's on mounting screws, it's a feature.
So speaking of mounting screws, I actually have one of your holsters here. You just sent me this recently. I was quite pleased with the craftsmanship, honestly. Since I make holsters, I know what shitty holsters look like because I make them. So, but it's true. How do you press them? I do it the old school way, just standing on the foam and shit.
Yeah, I'd say
Foam boards.
you make them, but I make a living out of them, so I make more than you.
Right. Exactly. That's why I'm curious.
No, so I have 2 different methods of making them. I have a classic foam press, which is what I started off with, but mine's been modified. So I actually have a ATV motorcycle lift that I have built a 1-inch pipe frame to suspend it, and then have put 2 layers of, so about I got 1.5 inches of plywood underneath that and bottom a sliding frame, and 2
Okay.
layers of 1-inch foam. So I can put a lot of pressure on these molds. So I can pretty much make them look like they're vacuum formed. The one that you have there is vacuum formed. So that's
Okay.
a butterfly split mold, and then you put it on a vacuum table and suck all the air out.
Hmm.
You're getting a lot better definition, a lot crisper lines. The downside with that is you lose your custom. You can still customize it, but that mold is cut, and how it is, that's all you get. It's butterflied out, right?
Hmm.
So the benefit of the foaming is I can add whatever light, any attachments, and things of that nature, and kind of be more custom with it than I can with vacuum. You can still get pretty creative, but you're very limited.
I have heard of, like, I know with the molds. Okay, let my squirrely brain jump back 1 second. The butterfly molds, when you say that, are those the ones that are just basically one plate with both sides of the gun,
Yeah.
and then you put the one single piece of Kydex down, and then you just heat it up in the middle and fold it around?
That's correct. Yeah.
All right.
So you
Um,
have butterflies and splits. I use split holes and those, what they're called, those butterfly. They take the gun, cut it in half, space it out, and then you add a retention plate, and then just like you said, you vacuum it out, trim it, fold it. I also have split holes, which you can get even more creative with. They just take a whole molding prop, cut it down the middle, and there's pre-drilled locator pinholes, and then I have a forming plate that has pins. So every time I set those down, they're always in the same location, and every mold has the pinholes in the same spacing and orientation. So I can swap those out. I can do halves, like I can do half of a mold. I can put them in different jigs. They're a lot more flexible to do that, but there's less manufacturers of molds that are making them.
sorry to disappoint you, Bob, but definitely not gay porn yet.
Yes, it is.
Um, so the reason I was asking about butterfly molds, one, I again, I had not heard of the butterfly mold until very recently. Some other friends were talking about 3D printing them, and that's why I was asking about it, because like in theory, you could do a butterfly mold for just about any combo, but then at that point, you'd also have literally hundreds of them, thousands stacked up.
Yes,
And you'd
because
have to,
I started 3D printing my own, and I've been messing around with settings, and it's actually been very beneficial and very cost effective. Especially if I'm just doing onesies and twosies, I can get quite a bit out of the 3D printing stuff before it starts to lose its shape. But then I just go for less than $3 and I go print another file. And a big deal when on average you're spending $150 for just one mold without the trim jigs, which is almost the same. You double that. And I don't do mine with any blocking. I take the extra time to add the blocking to each one. Other people, they'll add, like, they want left hand, right hand with this attachment, so they can have almost $1,000, $1,500 wrapped up into one gun. So like a Glock 19, for example, they want to have tooling to do an inside, outside, left hand, right hand, Safariland and Foamy, whatever one. That right there, that's almost $1,000 just to have one gun in all those different configurations. I can get it. I don't like that.
Jesus
Or if you
Christ.
trade 'em horse come for it.
And that's why you see all these custom Kydex companies that are like super expensive, because you got to realize how much they have put into tooling.
mm-hmm.
Like, why is $80 for a simple inside the waistband a fair price? It's not. It's just they're trying to recoup their cost of the investment they had to offer that model.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like 3D
So.
printing is the future. I'm not ready to get one yet, but I will soon, I'm sure. I just don't have the need for it yet, but yeah. It's awesome that you use it to 3D print your molds.
Yep, I can prototype things because I can test them and I can print them for really cheap. So I'm right now I have a Scar mag that I just prototyped. I have I'm gonna forget it. It's a 12 gauge shotgun detachable mag that I designed and made a mag carrier for some IDPA shooters. or multi-gun shooters. So they have these like 25 round detachable shotgun mags, and only one company I think makes a carrier for as of right now.
Dang.
There's a bunch of different mag carriers where they're very like if you have AKs, you know how every mag from an AK, it's not going to fit the carrier the same way depending on the lug style and the outer shell. If it's polymer, metal, the AK mags are not universal.
HSGI
I mean-
taco mag pouches.
Shit, AK mags don't even
Well, so-
fit different AKs.
I've only ever used taco pouch, those HSGI tacos for a decade now, just because they'll hold every magazine I own.
Right.
I know a lot of
I have
weird
some.
mags.
I got the same ones, and when you have G Code makes the same one, I think it's their I can't remember what it's called, but it has the same shot cord,
Yeah.
which allows you to carry multiple different
My
sizes. But
my G3 mags, my AK mags,
Mhm.
my AR mags. Doesn't matter what I have. That's why I've never invested in any other magazine pouch, because it's just like I have too many guns. And I don't want to have a different setup for every single gun.
But why not?
Yeah.
I'm actually considering having a setup built for my Walther P22 because I think it might be time to get my daughter started in at least learning how a handgun works, and the drills that I've been working on are pretty solid. So yeah, a P22 and magazine pouch would the problem is she said no, she's not that interested in guns. And I was like, I don't care. You still need to learn how to shoot. And she's like, but why? And I was like, same reason you do karate. So if you need it, you have it one day. Like, I don't care if you like it, you still need to do it.
Karate.
So anyway,
It's like that meme of the little boy with the gun just crying.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Thanks,
Mike and
Vince.
his daughter.
thank
You're
you.
welcome.
I-
like
I-
my
glad I
dad,
could
he
help.
gave me a toolbox when I was I think I was 5 or 6 years old, and like for Christmas they gave me a toolbox, and I just cried. And it's like, hey, you know what? That it worked, because now I got about $10,000 worth of tools in the shop.
That's
Mhm.
awesome. I'm curious about the hood. I wanted a level 2 specifically because, and this was actually Sam's recommendation.
Because
Sam
level
was
1 is gay.
M17 in, and he was like, your M17 could just like fall out, right? And I was like, no, it's in there pretty good. It's got solid retention. And he's like, but if it fell out while you were in the boat and it just went boink into the lake, you'd be like,
Poop.
pouty face.
You only for me it was one time was enough. I was crawling around under a freaking obstacle. I don't remember what it was, and I lost an XDM out of a holster. I was like, nope, never again. I had that fucking thing tightened way down, and I looked down and my gun's gone. So
Oof.
Mm.
And that's,
Level
you
two
know
is
what, that's
I don't
fair.
do
I
level
learned
one.
from your lesson. It's kind of unfortunate the M17 didn't go swimming, and with
what?
the
Kill
fishes.
some poor freaking pike down in the river? No.
Some pike goes and starts chewing on it, it goes off.
Murdering innocent
Oh.
fish.
If
Anyway.
he asked for an M17, he wouldn't have got one, because we pulled all 320 models for the time being off of our list. So we're no longer making holsters for any P320 variants. The only ones that I think we're going to
Sued.
keep on there is the X10s and the 45s, because it seems to be the only compact 9mm that we're having issues. So those are the only ones that we're going to keep on there.
Dang.
Yeah,
I think
Smart.
that's
Well, because everybody's coming after, they're like, oh, they're saying it's a holster problem. Like, well, I'm
Yep.
not taking that liability.
Yeah.
Shit, no.
No, thank
it's
you.
not a holster problem, it's a fucking gun problem. If it was a holster problem, this would happen to other guns.
So the now what they're going after is the fact that it's the slide is being dislodged while in the holster. So they're going to blame the holster for dislodging the slide, because the slide moving, because it's got a sloppy play on the frame, which is moving the trigger bar 1 millimeter enough to, discharge the firearm unintentionally. They're going to blame it on. They're going to come after the holster, because SIG's too big of a company to take any blame.
Yeah. And they're definitely too big of a company to take any blame now after spending this long saying we don't have any blame to take. They're going to look real stupid when they turn around and go, like, beat red. Hey, we might have a hand in this.
It's a voluntary upgrade.
voluntary.
Yes,
upgrade.
they've known about this since 2017. And in court, they admitted that if the recent one, I think it was a Massachusetts police officer that got shot in the cojones and in his leg.
He just didn't want to have another kid and was
Oh.
too afraid to get the surgery.
Either way, so he was negligent in the fact that he did put it in his waistband without a holster. That information came out. So bad on you for that. But it still
Yeah.
went off, right? And then in court, they say, oh, you willingly used a firearm that has a known defect. It's like, oh, pause. Are you admitting that the 320 has the court is saying, admitting that the 320 has a defect, right? Everybody heard that?
I
Sig?
remember this. I read about this.
You know,
The guy lost the case because, I mean, they found that the 320 was defective, but the guy lost the case because he knowingly used it, knowing that there was a defect. So he lost, but I guess maybe we won. I don't know. It's still up in the air.
If it leads to a recall and a very expensive SIG lesson, that's basically the least that will come out of this.
You know what I like about this situation is that this is the exact kind of situation that the PLCAA is designed to not have anything to say about at all. So that this can be pointed to when people criticize, like, no, PLACA is not there so that people can, go do whatever with guns. It's there when a company is negligent and releases an unsafe product. The last time this happened, I'm pretty sure that was really publicized was the Remington trigger nonsense on the 700.
Oh,
that
yeah.
like to go off if you press the trigger with the safety on and then took the safety off, it would sometimes go bang. I
actually
made that happen
looked up
once
to
by
see if
accident,
my
but-
Remington 700 was part of that.
There's
and
a
it was
huge
not.
recall on those triggers. And when I was gunsmithing, it was we had a whole bin full of Remington 700 recall kits. Same with the Winchester 100s. There was firing pin recalls, and we would send it back. Swap out the parts, send the old ones back, and give them the serial number on the firearm for them to track.
You could do that. You could achieve that with triggers all the way back to the 1950s before the 700 existed. Back when it was the 722 and 721, the older trigger designs would actually, if you didn't have the safety all the way forward and press the trigger and got a failure, like the trigger was solid, like you had a safety, and then release the trigger and push the safety all the way to the off position, it would discharge. Like if there was some engagement enough to keep the safety from, or keep the trigger from being pulled, but then when you release the safety, it would drop the sear. And,
At that point, the safety was the only thing engaging the sear.
yeah, you would have to take the safety and pull it all the way back to fully on position to kind of reset the whole thing. But if you didn't, then it would go boom.
Yeah, and they got the Barrett's under fire too for the MK22 having like that issue where pretty much almost the similar issue. They're touching the bolt. I think Savage has had those issues before, where on some of them they would fire on the bolt closing, see whether the safety was engaged or not because they had a faulty firing pin.
So if SIG had
just
owned
gonna-
Remington at the time, they would have just rebranded it and called it a thumb trigger.
Yeah. So
It's all
shame on
marketing.
SIG. The only reason that they're burning right now is because they're not owning their own mistake. You're a company. Hey, you got something that's out there that's bad. Own it. Fix it. You look better for doing that, and people will respect you for it. Hey, you made a mistake. Cool. Fix it, and we're good. No harm done. Now, you hurt yourself big time.
No, that's
A
true.
lot of SIG fanboys are going to be like, maybe we don't like you anymore.
People call me a SIG fanboy, and frankly, I very much like the other numerous SIGs that I own. I carry several of them, and they make up my entire AR collection.
Singer.
Two. What did you call me? That's our word.
Hey, SIG.
You use it in
okay,
your
come on.
music. I can
But-
use it if I want.
This
Hard R.
this whole thing has made me take the M17 off my holster or off my hunting belt and put my Glock on
He
it.
just
This is what
shoved
I
his
had
Glock
you
in
make
the same
the
holster.
holster for. Was my Glock. Because a Glock doesn't do that. Glocks don't go off in the holster.
I mean, we'd say the SIG's your drop gun now, but you don't want to do that either.
No. Can't trust that either.
If you have a SIG as a drop gun, you anheroed.
So we brought you on here, Klecker, because we have started a new kick about sidearms carrying sidearms in the wilderness, because a lot of people, when they go out hunting, don't. They're like, I don't need a handgun when I go hunting. Yes, you do. And we thought we would bring you on because you're a friend of the Firearms Radio Network, and you should talk about the thing that you do, because that's a pretty good. You have several solutions, I think, that would interest a lot of the hunters in our audience. And while I personally like at 3 o'clock on a UBL mid ride, a lot of people like chest rigs. A lot of people like carrying in their backpacks and dying. I don't know.
Well, if you're running a heavy load with a waist belt on a pack, I mean, it's hard to carry a UBL mid ride on your waist. It's hard to carry anything on your waist if you're doing that. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which is why I've been testing it with my hunting belt and everything, and the backpack that I have. Now, a different backpack would be a different story, but at least the one I have works.
Yep, I've done a couple for someone going out and doing elk hunts out in I don't know where he went out and did it, but he wanted to carry his 1911 on his Alpine pack as he was hiking out there. He just wanted to have that as, you know, this is for protection against predators. And I just put it on a pancake style holster with Molly attachments, and we attached that to the kidney straps on his pack. I was
Nice.
able to get him. So the only downside of that is if you drop your pack, you're dropping your gun.
Mhm.
But with that style pack, you can't put it anywhere else because now your gun's covered by the pack. So you kind of have to choose your battle there.
One thing I've done is I've
and
taken an inside the waistband holster, and I'll put it on that 12 o'clock right there underneath the right next to the buckle of the waist pack, and then if I take that off, the gun comes off and goes in my waistband. So there's a little bit of movement there, but it's a pretty smooth transition.
so I just sold my last one. I forgot to keep one on standby for tonight. But here's just the shell for the chest rig. It's essentially just a pancake style, like you would for like an outside the waistband, but we don't bend it. So it keeps it nice and straight and flat on your chest. And it can be worn like this. You have a strap that goes over here, and one strap that goes all the way around your waist and attaches here. I have thought about taking this and bending the wings like we do with our outside the waistband standard pancake. And so that way you can take it off your chest when you're not carrying it out in the field hunting, and then you can throw it on your hip by just quickly throwing on your belt clips. Or you could throw Molly clips on this, and you could put this onto a pack, plate carrier, or however you needed to carry it. But these shells, with all you would need to you'd buy one, you'd have your harness and your spare belt clips. And then if you need a new gun that you just want to carry a different gun, you just have to order a new shell. So unfortunately, I forgot my straps, but it's a simple chest harness. It's just, instead of having, some of them, they'll have 3 different points of attachments. And what I found with those is I didn't like them, because as you start to move and adjust and you're actually moving out in the woods, those screws loosen up. And now you can Loctite them, but then they don't move with you as much. So we have the new ones that has one solid band that goes around with an attachment point at the bottom. That is, and then another strap that goes over the top and has 2 attachment points. So you have 2 screws and 2 screws. So those screws don't walk out and it doesn't shift, but it still has that modularity that you need. So it's still
Okay, so it's
around.
like an old style bandolier that went around attached at the waist over the shoulder.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and the benefit of that is it really gives you a lot more flexibility as far as size. So we stitch in a piece of elastic band to the waist strap, and it's fully adjustable. So it's kind of like a one size fits most. I think it'll fit. It's like down to about 28 inch all the way up to 55-inch chest. And I think we can go even bigger than that.
So Vince and I can wear the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, because then all you do is you're just taking your slack and you're gonna open it up, and you can just trim it, or you can fold them and use the stays to kind of mind your tails. Other options are, depending on the chest rig that you have, if it has a kangaroo flap, like I've done a few for the Everly Stock Recon. There's a couple other bino harnesses or chest harnesses that you can get for hunting that has a hook and loop panel in the rear. What we do is we take a hard piece of Kydex, drill holes in it, and put hook and loop on both sides. You flip that up, put that down underneath, and now you have a mounting platform that hangs underneath. That gives you a little bit of adjustability, and you can take your OWB holster that you would have everywhere else and mount it right to it. And that we do recommend with the level 2 hood, because it is now mounted horizontal. You don't want to accidentally lean and tip and drop your gun out. Especially since I always recommend when you're hunting to have a light on your
Fucking
when you're walking out in low light, you want to be able to have a light. And you don't want to have, it's always good to have an admin light, but you definitely want to have a gun mounted light. You're walking out and 2 hours before the sun's up and you want to do a quick flash to see what's out there. You can even get caps for your lights, little films where you could put a red light filter on your weapon light for when you're hunting. So you're not going to.
You do need to be careful with that, though.
That's exactly what I need to light up the freaking grizzly bear, and now it's in a demonic red color.
Yeah.
Like, oh god, it has a health bar.
Oh,
I thought TLR1 HLs were admin lights.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the 600 lumen ones.
Yeah. No.
See, it's actually something I worry about. Like, I know why you need a light on a firearm, right? Especially even out in the woods, but the spotlighting is a thing that is not always legal. And depending on what you're hunting, you may have to contend with the hairy problem of intent.
Mhm.
Yes.
And
Because
you end up in a-
now,
Sorry, the
are
hairy
you hunting with that firearm that has the light?
it depends.
Yeah. That's
You can hunt deer with a 9mm handgun here in Oklahoma. I mean, it's
Yeah, you can here,
perfectly
too.
legal to. And also, with my AR, I'll hunt with my AR and 5.56. But if I'm walking in, it's low light. There's stuff that that you could actually. I mean, it's legal to use for self-defense, to light something up, even if it's an animal that would normally be illegal to shoot during the dark if you're just hunting it. I mean, there's a difference there. It's just that you might need to actually go read your hunting laws to see if there is something clear cut about it. Like, no, if you have a light on your gun at all, it may be that they can get you for something. Now,
Right,
maybe your
yeah,
game officer isn't a pain in the ass, but you don't want to rely on that either.
I think that, and this is just opinion because obviously we can't speak on the legality of it. Each state's a little bit different. Now, if there was any suspicion of you taking the animal before the legal shooting time, then I think that's the only time that light's going to come into play. And that's my opinion.
So interesting story on that note. We were antelope hunting many, many years ago. I was still a teenager. My uncle shot an antelope at last light, like literally at last light, and then he was using his truck lights to gut it out. And game warden just happened to, we were up in Wyoming, in the middle of nowhere, Wyoming. Game warden happens to stumble upon him. And he's like, "What time did you shoot that?" And my uncle was like, "Literally at last light. And, do you think I'd be sitting here cleaning him with all my lights on if I didn't?" And the game warden was like, "Carry on."
You're in the middle of Wyoming. He saw your headlights from 40 miles away and had nothing else to do.
Right.
Mhm.
And there's no houses over there. He's like, oh, he must be a hunter.
I'm going to go check them in a half hour. That's how long it's going to be.
Yeah.
But
Lights
I can
mean
see that
stuff.
being the case, especially at those last questionable. Like, I think I can see it. I'll take the shot.
Yeah.
and and then it's cutting it pretty close. And then of course, and if you have a weapon light on, yeah, I could see where that could be a very hairy situation. But what's the nice thing about those is that they can detach pretty quickly
Hmm.
and get tossed in a backpack.
I like the
Usually
ones that actually have the pull tabs, and you can slide it, pull the tabs and then slide them on,
Yeah,
on and off, and they
Yeah, the
lock in.
X300, I think it's the A model, has no thumb screw, which is a little pull down. That's one thing I think Streamlight needs to get with is a quick detach, and I think someone
Cool.
should design it.
We call that one the Poacher Special.
Coming
So,
up on Let's Go to Prison
Just kidding, Jeff. Don't kill me,
or Prison Me.
please.
This is only slightly unrelated, but whenever we're out doing thermal stuff at night, I still insist on having a white light and a sighting system that is around the thermal. So a red dot, offset iron, something. So you have white light on demand, and then something that's fast acquisition. Because especially if you're out doing hog stuff, and if you have something charge you, which they will do because they're violent assholes, you want to be able to do something fast.
Yeah, I think
Anyway.
we don't have too many wild hogs here in Michigan. I think they're mainly farms. There are some. I've heard of lots of reports of them, but they're in small numbers, smaller packs, and smaller size, and they're not as common. We do have some cougars and black bear that like to venture around in the woods up north. So a lot of the guys around my area that are hunting here, they want a chest holster for their either 10 mil. 10 mil's been the most popular, so like Glock 20, 21s, so 45 and 10 mil. I prefer, like, if I'm going out and I need a sidearm for hunting, it's going to be a 10 mil. I think it's superior to the 45 as far as when it comes to effectiveness.
For the
And,
audio listeners, Sam is not so subtly pointing at his USP.
In 45.
No, for that application in 45 Super.
Oh yeah. Super.
He's super. Thanks for asking.
So
Where is it? Oh, there it is.
those are for hunters. Another thing for if you're a bow hunter and saddle hunting's been becoming more popular in the past 2-3 years. It kind of came back, or it's just I get a lot of people say I saddle hunt. I can't have anything on my waist, so that's why we started to implement also the chest
because
rigs.
people realize that deer will just stand there and stare at you if you're on a horse. And shooting from a vehicle is illegal, but the horse, that's just a horse, dude. So,
I saw you shoot from a vehicle. A horse is a horse, of course, of course.
Are we talking about the same thing, or is he talking about saddle tree stands?
Mhm.
okay.
Oh, we went
Yeah.
down a tangent that did not need to go down.
Well, we just.
But now I want to shoot a deer from a horse.
I was
I
just
wanna do that.
talking. I was just talking to a dude on Sunday. I was talking to a guy on Sunday who he takes horses up to go elk hunting, and they ride him around, and he has run into that where the elk don't care about a horse, even if you're on it.
Because they're like, oh, well,
Mhm.
it's with that smelly creature is with that big animal that I've never seen before. It's fine. Oh, no, it's not fine.
Why is it spicy?
I think this goes in the same file as my idea of just running down a road, with a
Mhm.
rifle strapped to your chest, and then wait for the deer to just stand there and stare at you, because that's what they do when you go for a run down the road. They're just like, oh, look at that idiot, and then you just stop and shoot them.
That's why for the longest time I always argued against wearing camouflage when I was hunting. So I was like, why? I'm like, I just go out in whatever I'm wearing, because this animal you're telling me that the animal here that runs across a freeway with loud, bright vehicles at night and during the day is going to care what I'm wearing in the woods. If it's rut, they don't care what I look like. They got
Oh,
other
yeah,
things
no.
on their mind.
Mhm.
Even if
bright
it's
blue
not, like-
jogging suit, Draco,
Yeah.
just
And that's why I go hunting and nothing at all. Because it's what I want
Okay, that's
at time.
Check your butthole for ticks.
so the guys that go out and they're like, I have to wear the camouflage. Well, in some states like Colorado, you have to wear a
this
certain
a
cute square
hemorrhoid
inchage
or-
of blaze orange, and
500 square inches
you know
with
you're out there with and
head
you have
covering.
to have a blaze orange head covering that cannot be a camo blaze orange. It has to be solid
Mhm.
blaze orange. It can be a beanie or a
Yes.
baseball cap, but you're out
Same here.
there and the deer can see you for 300 yards in your blaze orange shit, and they're going to be walking around going loo loo loo. I'm still a deer.
Okay,
'Cause
well,
they
you know,
don't
okay,
care.
stop.
I think
Blaze
we added
orange.
hot pink now. I think Michigan added
Yeah,
hot.
Colorado added hot pink too.
Yep.
I know that's been a lot of things. A lot of the DNRs, the forestry guys have been trying to advocate to add for women. It's well, let's add hot pink.
Now, if you're talking archery hunting, that's a different story. But Vince wants
Don't-
to say something.
Don't forget that blaze orange does not appear to deer the way that it appears to
Mhm.
us.
Right.
Because they see light in a different spectrum. They do see light in the ultraviolet spectrum, though, which is why UV brighteners for your clothes and your laundry detergent are a
Ooh.
problem because
Hmm.
UV brighteners will make you actually freaking
Glow.
glow
Yeah,
into them. So you have to wash your stuff in. It's what I use is stuff called Sport Wash. You can buy it on Amazon. It removes UV brighteners, and it's all. But you do have to like run it a couple of times because UV brighteners will be in your washing machine from when you're using your normal detergent. But you have to keep that out of there or else you will just freaking glow. It doesn't matter if you're wearing camo or not. They'll look up and see like this glowing thing sitting in a tree stand and be like,
Mhm.
well, what the hell is that?
I've noticed that I've only been ever spotted by a doe. I've never had a buck spot me. I think the
Those
does
are-
are the only ones that are looking up.
Those are surveillance does. Those are drones put out by the government.
They're surveillance
robots.
drones.
blow at me, you little bitch.
I have. Ooh,
I have shot a doe because she wouldn't shut up and quit blowing at me. I've done it.
I had one get danger like real close as she was up on me before the sun was up. I thought I was all alone. And I heard that for the first, this was like when I was maybe 17, 18, going out for the first time. And I heard that and I had chills down my spine. She was probably 10 feet from me in the pitch black, and I heard that. She could see me. I couldn't see her. I'm leaving.
So
It's
anyway,
a loud
I
and
start
disturbing
blasting.
noise, honestly. If you've never heard a deer, quote unquote, blow in the woods, I mean, it's loud and it sounds like some kind of ethereal bird almost. It's a whistly noise and it's kind of unsettling. Though that's not as unsettling as the time where I heard something rustling behind me and then a skunk walked out between my legs.
Oh god
Oh,
damn.
neat.
I'm like, I'm so close to a bad day.
You old stink kitty.
Oh
Yep.
no.
So anyway,
Anywho, do
So I don't know how your
holsters work on
guys' state
stink
laws
kitties?
are as well. At least for in Michigan, there is, so if you have a concealed carry license, or if even if an open carry state, now, where a lot of people have questions about is if they can carry their concealed firearm into a public hunting area. So, to my understanding of that is, you cannot. You have to, even if you have a CPL, if you're in Michigan, you have to then convert to open carry. You cannot be a concealed carry in public hunting. You have to be open. Now, I don't know if that's carries between all the other states to be the same, or is it fairly similar with you guys?
No, you
it is
can
not
carry-
similar here.
Yeah.
Under the provisions of the Oklahoma Self-Defense Act, you have the right to carry your self-defense firearm in many situations where they would say you cannot have a firearm otherwise. But saying it's for self-defense changes things. So if you called up the game warden and you had a deer that went onto a neighbor's property and they said, yeah, you can go over there, and the game warden showed up, or say they said you couldn't, and the game warden showed up and like talked to him and said, okay, we can go over there and look for it. If you wanted to take your rifle with you, they'd be like, whoa, 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 you can't take your rifle with you. You don't have the permission to hunt over there. You have the permission to go look for something. But you could still carry your self-defense firearm because of the provisions of the Oklahoma Self-Defense Act. And you could carry it concealed as you would under other normal circumstances. Right.
Problem with carrying concealed hunting is when it gets cold, you get lots and lots and lots and layers. And
Oh well,
It's Oklahoma. He's fine.
I mean,
yeah, that's fair.
if
well,
He has one layer.
if we're
open carry too, so like it
Yeah.
doesn't matter too much.
And
it's just
if
don't
you
have
have
to convert
Go
to
ahead.
open carry. You can if you want. You don't have to.
if it gets really cold and I have to layer, it all of a sudden becomes an OWB with a long coat.
So
if I'm concealed carrying.
a lot of times you can take your, especially if you're wearing, I wear bibs or overalls, and you can just
Mm-hmm.
take your IWB and pop it either into the bibs. And I think they started making some bibs that have little concealed carry pockets up here in the chest.
Vest for sure, and bibs.
I thought there was a
haven't
bibs
seen-
that has a pocket inside up on the chest area.
Is that where
Um,
we are now? It's 2025. We're at tactical overalls.
Yes.
bro.
So,
Shot
I'm not
show
going to give away.
2026.
I have an idea for some overalls, and I'm not going to say anything until I don't want anybody to steal my idea. But I have an
Right.
idea for some tactical overalls that
Me and you, we're gonna talk because I use overalls all the fucking time.
Wait, is
Yeah.
the top a plate carrier? Like the top of the overalls is a plate carrier?
Is it covered
you
with
just-
Molly
you
and
just
you
pull
can
up to
you have
just-
mag pouches
no
on it?
Molly. It's
Aw.
just Jean or Carhartt, but it will
Oh
accept the
god,
plate
if it's
on
if
the
it's
inside and the
Carhartt,
back.
if it's
Bro.
Carhartt, all the freaking hipsters will be wearing it. I'm out.
That's true.
Well, you'll have an
So,
option.
wait,
It'll be
hipsters wear
Jean.
Carhartt now?
denim?
That's-
Yes,
Yeah,
hipsters
Carhartt's
big
a-
time in wearing Carhartt. Carhartt
Yeah.
has been like gentrified.
No.
for like the past 10 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
God.
fucking.
Go to Boulder. Carhartt everywhere.
They have
I don't
ruined my
believe you.
thermos. The hipsters have
This
because I have a Stanley
Stanleys?
thermos.
Yep.
And I wear
Wow.
Carhartt bibs and a Carhartt jacket. Not ironically.
Nope.
I know,
I actually
I'm a
switched to
hipster
Burn. Is
now.
it Bernie or Bernay or whatever it is?
Bernie, yeah, Bernie, whatever.
Bernie.
I know the brand. I know the
The E
company.
is-
I call it bird.
Do whatever you want with the E.
Spent a
no, you gotta
weekend
go
there once.
burn, eh?
Because if you notice, Carhartt prices have jacked up because of that whole trend.
Mm-hmm.
Carhartt used to not be that expensive.
I feel like they were always pretty expensive though. Like
I mean,
60,
there's a-
70
for what-
bucks for a
for what you
jacket
got,
or
For what you
That's
got,
normal.
though. I mean, I've had my
Now
same
it's-
Carhartt jacket.
maybe I was just a poor.
I've had
Now
my
it's
same
80 to
Carhartt
120
jacket
for a
18 years.
jacket.
Uh,
Yeah, back when they actually had that quote liner, not whatever
Yeah.
that
yeah,
like the good liners.
yeah, the good ones like
Mhm.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like I never got to.
Now
own
you're
one,
just
but I
getting
knew
something
plenty
that
of
looks like
people
a
that had 'em.
Carhartt for like $120 and it's junk.
They-
We've gone down a blue collar reminiscent.
I'm impressed.
Welcome to the blue collar rabbit
Hey,
hole.
we said overalls and tactical. Dave's house. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Tactical.
I think it's pretty tactical.
Emphasis on the cool.
Tactability.
Speaking of
Bruh.
tactical,
I-
I go ahead, Dave.
It would be really fantastic to be able to have plates and fucking coveralls for the shit that I do. Because there's times where I'm like, God damn, I wish I had my fucking plates. But
I mean, if that existed, I'd be like, slap me on the ass and call me Farmer Brown. Like,
mhm.
just
Dude, you should do your run and gun and some.
oh, dude, that'd be hilarious. No, it'd have to be winter. If it's summer, it would have to be like the
You cut 'em
tactical
off.
late- No, it'd have to be.
Oh
the
yeah, you
tactical
just
later
make overall
hosen.
shorts
you just
and
cut
just
them
wear
off.
nothing but those. Nothing.
Tactical
Daisy Duke those
romper.
overalls and then no shirt underneath.
Dude, I run in Daisy Pukes anyway.
I
He does.
feel like you should add Molly because then Vince could have his entire fucking rig on him, and it's one piece of clothing, and it's the only thing he has to wear. And
There was
then
a
he-
company.
Wait a minute, this is making more sense.
Mhm.
There was a
like
company
it.
that made a denim plate carrier with the frills and everything. I don't think they're making them anymore, and that's what kind of sparked the idea. Was we were looking for that company. So they made a denim plate carrier, Molly, everything. They just took a carrier, covered it in denim, and then put the frills all over it. And it was like, that's pretty cool. I like it. They're doing
I
a whole
think
bunch
it's
of Serape
completely
stuff
fair
and-
to rip their fucking idea off, especially if they don't do it anymore. Rip their idea off and then but
It's not a
make
rip-off.
it different enough that it's your own by putting it into coveralls. That whole thing with plates and Molly, but into coveralls. That would be
Okay, listen,
Inspired
amazing.
by.
If we did the cutoff ones, I could still use it in the summer, and then the plate, like the slot, I could just put one of those hydration plates in there, and
Yeah.
put water in there, and carry like a half gallon of water with
just-
me instead of plates.
we can make them zip offs.
Or he could wear it to the
Oh my
game
God.
and carry wine.
You
or
save
beer.
some pussy for the rest of us.
Oh no, hold on.
Zip off
Water in the back,
coveralls.
beer in the front, and then, you know,
This
Yeah,
is
I like
this is
the
a
idea of
gold
making them zip
idea.
off.
no,
Jesus.
oh, dude, make them rip off, just like breakaway pants, like
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
just
that's even
get
better.
done and
Yeah.
bam, and nothing but a speedo.
If the audience is lucky.
Try to
That's how I
assemble an
get
AK dressed like
uninvited
that.
Oh my god.
Take that,
That-
sausage fingers.
That's some content.
Take that.
I
sausage
would see
fingers,
that
that's awful.
content.
That's
Yeah,
awful.
you have to do a whole montage where you go from the farm to hunting to the range, wearing the same thing.
To the
Oh.
boog.
And then you do the rip off portion at the end and jump in the pool.
Hmm
Or get on a barrel and dance.
That'd have to be at the disco. Yeah.
Doo,
Disco
doo,
barn.
doo.
Okay, we'll split the middle. Slip and slide.
Acceptable.
What?
What? Never mind.
Exliptable.
No, stop that.
No, I will never stop it.
All I can picture now is
Disengage.
Vince running down and hitting the slip and slide in his running gun and just like
Yeah.
lined up and pop, 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 pop as he splashes across this yellow plastic covered in water.
If I could get denim short overalls with mag pouches and that nonsense, I would wear that during a running gun with a straw hat and just run the whole damn thing like that without a shirt on it. Like,
Cut the cheeks into a thong as well, so that when you do the slip and slide,
Now you want
what is wrong
assless
with you?
coveralls?
No, we're not doing the assless chaps version of this, Mike. Gosh,
They're
go
cover
back to the
sums.
Air Force.
All right, moving on.
You ruined it.
It's been ruined. This whole idea is now dead to me. Like, nope. Nope.
They used to tell me I
It-
ruined things.
Uh,
They still
So,
Hold on.
yeah.
I saw on your website you make holsters for High Point and JXP 10s.
Yes, I do. Yeah, Dave
Very
was
good.
so kind to add some of those to my inventory. So
right there, Vince.
yeah,
perfect.
Just more beard.
The hair's in the wrong place.
Yeah, basically.
More beard, less shirt.
Shake it and that's
Well, because
that's
I'm
amazing.
gonna need one of those from you soon. So
all right. Well,
have to
I
hit you
have
up
it.
here once I get it.
Do you make a chest holster for this thing?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Is that the 2245 or just the regular Mark IV?
45.
Is that a factory or is that an aftermarket trigger group?
Trigger. It's factory aftermarket.
Oh,
maybe.
The whole housing.
Oh, the whole housing. This is all factory. All
Okay.
factory.
I only asked because Tandem Cross. I spoke with them at GunCon and
Yep.
they are probably one of the biggest ones for the 2245 of a whole lower. It's a full customized lower. I just got one of those
Mhm.
in, and I have to get the uppers. And I got it. There's a plethora of different aftermarket uppers for those, but I think the one from Bolt Sports and that I'm going to be getting in is their 6 1/4" bull barrel should fit the same profile as what you have there, which is the tack light, I believe.
Yes. Do you
Yeah.
want me to send this to you? Like, if you need to make a mold out of it?
It would probably be easier for me to source it locally
Probably. I just,
and a lot cheaper. I mean, the amount of fees that you and I don't have to go through to just for FFL transfer fees.
well, I probably just the shipping too. But anyway,
Oh yeah, it's like
He does
you're looking,
work for the postal service, so he can get it there.
well, no matter what to ship a firearm, I think you're not looking at anything cheaper than $75 because it has to go 3-day ground.
and
Yeah.
I actually can't. So, are you an FFL?
Not yet.
You're not. Okay, so an FFL would have to ship it both ways.
Mhm.
So if you're not an FFL, that makes it more difficult. But yeah.
Yeah.
So never mind.
I am. I will. We'll keep in touch on it because I am working on getting, like I said, the Quartzen stainless steel upper. That's a 6 1/4 inch. I believe it's the same outer profile as the Match 22 Light, and that's something that I'm going to be working on here soon. And I'll be getting a factory lower for the 2245 because the 2245, for whatever reason, they just Ruger decided to change everything about the trigger guard and the frame, and like maybe 2 holster makers out there are making stuff for them. So I will dig into that.
Well, listen, I support the decision to, turn the whole thing into, a single push button to disassemble it. So,
Mhm.
That versus the Mark III, I don't care whatever else they did.
I don't know. I hated the Mark III.
If anyone
Functionality wise, great. If you had it when you had to take it apart,
oh look, it's back together. That would have
Yeah.
taken an hour with a Mark III
yeah,
if
and
you
I
ever
can,
got it back together at all.
and even the regular Mark IVs, not the 2245, it's a little bit different, but it's pretty much the same, and it's just so much of an improvement. Yeah, and I had to do them a lot, and I still struggled with it.
Yeah, I want a chest rig for that. I don't have a holster for it yet, so I just have to wander around the property with a gun in my
Yeah.
hand to shoot critters. So
Yeah, I'll try to work. I'm going to look into that fairly soon because I've been getting a lot of requests for that, so I'll be working on that.
the saddest thing about not being able to make it to GunCon, because I was supposed to be there, I wanted to go talk to. You said Tandem Cross was there. That was the one. Yeah, I wanted
Yep.
to go talk
Yeah.
to them. It was like, hey guys, like, what y'all got? Because like, they have all of the stuff for the 2245 ecosystem with all of the aftermarket triggers and stuff, and it's like, oh, that's cool. So
They were very
that's
nice.
one of those. And
Little
these two
space
yahoos, like, were like, did not care about it at all, and they did not go talk to them.
I was busy trying to steal an FAL. Okay, I had bigger things on my mind.
Okay, Bullwinkle.
Yeah,
I just
didn't
needed him
work,
to turn
so-
his back for 5 minutes.
it didn't work so well, did it?
That and I needed Bob from Gideon Optics to cooperate with me, but no, he just went, haha, that's funny, and then acted like I was crazy or something.
That's because you were crazy for wanting to commit a crime.
It's not a crime if you get caught. I mean, the other way
It's
around.
not a crime if you
don't
get caught? I don't think you have that correct.
Well, one way or the other.
We're
you're
all
a
doing goals,
politician.
Bob, but I don't think we all have goals in life, but not the actual.
We are not
I
going
don't.
to goals.
I have no goals.
Okay, so some of us
This
have
year.
goals, Bob, but not goals. Maybe next year. Anyway, are you
I'll
going to
be at
goals?
I am. I'm going to be going. I'm heading out Friday,
That's going to be awesome.
Nice.
and I'm making it. I knew I could have probably attempted to try to go as media, and I'm like, goals is I think it's a lot bigger. I was really happy to get into GunCon as media, as just starting out with doing any content stuff, and I didn't think I was going to get into goals under that ballot. So I'm just going as an attendee. We're making a family trip out of it. So I kind of like how they actually have a lot of kids. They have a designated kids area with like Minutemen reading. They're going to read books to the kids. They got arts and crafts and stuff. Like, so wife and kids can do that, and I can peruse.
That changes things. I might actually like if they're doing it in Kentucky again, which I'm sure they will next year. But
Tennessee.
my bad.
Way to go.
Yeah.
Same.
You fucked that up.
I mean, there's probably a Knoxville in Kentucky, but it's not
Right.
You'll start a fight in a bar if you make that mistake
Yep.
in the wrong place.
Dude, I'll start a fight. Don't let me sniff whiskey. Just
Hey,
keep me away
Tennessee and
from whiskey.
Kentucky, that's an underrated rivalry there.
Also, for those that don't know, Goals is put on by the Gun Owners of America, and it's the Gun Owners Advocacy and Leadership Summit. So
Yes.
it's a big ass gun show. It's got a bunch of panels.
Mhm.
It's cool.
It's
And-
a lot like GunCon, but much
scaled like
200,
tenfold.
235 vendors, I think, is what John said.
yeah.
Vendors. So
Yeah.
And they were set.
Crazy.
And last night on the We Like Shooting podcast, John Patton was talking about how him and the so Andrew Bailey and
Mhm.
who else are they going to have on? They're getting their rebuttal. They're going to put the whole everybody that got kicked out of
Johnny B.
GunCon is going to
Johnny
have
B and Legally Armed America.
yeah. So they're going to have their spot at Goals to talk about what they should have been able to talk about at GunCon. So that's really
That's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Also, they should talk about what happened at GunCon, but we shouldn't for another hour.
Yes, let's talk about another show at a different show.
Not quite what I meant. But
If you're not a
anyway.
member of GOA, be a member of GOA.
I
Yeah,
literally
obviously,
told my
Jim.
wife about the show, about the event. I was like, "Yeah, we should go. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not." And a couple minutes later, she asked me for some information that nothing like out of the ordinary. And I get an email with my GOA membership. I'm like, "Oh, I guess I'm a GOA member now." She's like, "Yeah, we're going." Oh, okay.
Mhm.
And I've been putting it off.
Yeah, if you're a member, you get in free. So
Mhm.
Nice.
It's good. I think it'll be very fun. I don't think I'm going to be. In my brain, I'm thinking small, and I know when I get there, it's going to be like, this is a lot. This is huge because I think they have an upstairs and a downstairs level, and the floor where they're doing all the panels.
nice.
Holy shit.
I hope they have snacks.
So, dude, someone asked me if I was going to set up as a vendor because one of the holster makers that's local to me, he set up there last year. And after he told me the cost of just having a 10 by 10 square area, I was like, no.
Maybe
I would be
next
bet-
year.
I'd be better off walking around with a stack of cards in my fanny pack.
Yeah.
Mhm. Just
Which-
covered in fucking holsters.
I've done it at a gun show. I have literally put on every bit of outside the waistband I could just to showcase it. I look like
Hey, man, you need a holster?
You
Forgot
go
what
as
was
the
you
guy
need right here.
from damn it, the movie escaped me. The one with the 6 guns. Why the hell did the
Boondock
movie-
Saints.
Yes, thank you. You go as the guy from Boondock Saints. Maybe
I
it
think he
was
had more
one
than-
guy with 6 guns.
He had 2, 4.
Yeah, he had
He
2
might have had
chests,
8. I don't know. He had
2
quite a bit.
stomach, 2 waist. He might have had 2 more. You never know.
I was thinking more like back alley Rolex vendor where you open up the trench coat and it's
Oh, yeah.
just whoa.
But I got to
Bob
be
from
wearing
Gideon-
nothing underneath.
Bob
but
from
I'm
Gideon
but I'm ready.
Optics needs that idea. Bob, get a trench coat and fill the inside of it with optics. That way you can flop it out and not only flash people, but show them the optics too.
Also, you should.
I'm gonna patent that idea. It's a good one.
No, I don't know that Bob having a trench coat is a good idea at all.
Oh yes, it is.
I don't know. I don't think this is.
I'd
this is
take
gonna
pictures
be,
of that.
Bob's gonna go to jail.
No,
if Sam
no,
did it,
everyone's willing.
So this is going to be how I'm going to be walking around. Just to go back to the subject of how to carry, I'm going to be wearing my Everly Stock Bando fanny pack, and I've got a bunch of storage for snacks and extra diaper stuff for the kids. But I can also carry a full size gun and a light.
Nice.
Yeah, I can take it off, and this is our fanny pack holster. So if you have any hunting
Oh.
packs that have hook and loop inside of it, you can carry wherever you want when you're hunting. And
Oh,
it just-
I had to
On the-
do.
Bunted under hook and loop.
Shit.
I was doing mine on short notice, going to Yellowstone though, because I got what's that company? Dusky. Put it in the chat. Is it Helicon? It's Helicon, yeah. Chest pack. But
Mhm.
because I was on short notice, I had to get the just some off-brand Velcro, loop to stick it through. It worked fine.
So most of these come with a hook and loop like holster, but it's just like a nylon belt strap that just holds the gun from flopping around. It doesn't actually cover the trigger guard. It's not that safe and secure. One of the things I am prototyping is a universal bracket that you can either hook and loop to it, so that can go, that hook and loop holster can go directly to it, or it has slots on the sides and the top where you can put straps to, where you can loop it into, let's say, a pack. That sometimes you get those packs or pouches that have the MOLLE on the inside. And that, so if you have pouches and things that you're carrying that doesn't have hook and loop, you would be able to take this bracket and MOLLE it to your MOLLE straps, and then now you have a hook and loop panel where you can put all sorts of different accessories. And then if you want to mount your holster directly to it, there's going to be holes in it where you can just direct mount it if you're not comfortable with the hook and loop attachment. So that's something that I think I'm done with the prototypes. I just have to go out and get it field tested and make sure everything's good on that, and that'll be coming out soon.
So if I test that and I'm like, hey, I've got the soft part on my backpack, and I go squish, and then I report back that it fell off, we can report that as a failure.
And report the gun is lost. Whoops.
Well, if you're interested in testing it, I will send that out to you, and you can test it in however which way you need to test it. But I'm not going to be liable for any loss of damages
Fair.
because you're going to be beta testing, so you're on your own.
I'm used to people calling me beta. It's fine.
With a ponytail, yeah. I'm not gonna quit giving you shit until you get rid of it.
Wait, where's the ponytail though? Is it low or high? Because that really does make a difference.
It
It's
was
like-
in a bun at gun.
It was.
Okay,
It was
no,
not.
you
It
got
was
nothing
just.
then.
It
It was
depends
not.
on
It
how-
was curled under. I discovered this. My hair is curled.
If your
and it just
ponytail is
curled up
above your
underneath.
ears,
No,
it
it was
depends on how
not.
perky he's feeling.
So, Dave, what we do is there's this wonderful product called Nair. And
Oh,
we
man.
replace all of Mike's shampoo with Nair.
You will
I
never.
And this
cannot
problem
wait
will
for
solve
Gun Con.
itself.
He'll
I
show up with,
cannot
like,
wait
One
for
Punch
Gun Con
Man.
next year. Mike will never be safe. Like I'll put Nair on the inside of his cap. Just fucking ring.
I meant
This
icy
white
hot.
goo
hair.
around the inside of my hat. Oh well, I'll put it on anyway. Squish. Huh? It's in my eyeballs. That's burning. I see many ways that's going to go poorly for you, Dave.
I don't see many.
I don't see many either. I don't think you can fight him.
I see this as an absolute win. Um,
See, you think I don't?
Well, yes, you've been doing Krav Maga.
No, I did one class. I was just
Dave's been doing 33 years of redneck.
What did you call it, Vince? Jurati?
oh, yeah, Jurati. Yeah.
oh, horrible, horrible people. I love it.
I feel
Horrible
fine.
and accurate. Anyway,
How dare you say those mean, awful, hurtful, accurate things? Anyway, so I have a question about your. Wow, Bob. God damn it.
Bob from Gideon Optics
Damn it.
says, I'd crav that Maga, ponytail and all.
I'm trying to help you, Mike. The ponytail's a target.
It's like when we bullied the kid who had a rat tail in 4th grade just to get him to shave it off.
Yeah, but you forget that my wife does things to me because she likes my hair. So you're
All right, so
means
anyway,
absolutely
we have this
fuck
segment.
all.
We have the segment of the show called Mike Shuts the Fuck Up while I turn the music up really loud because I don't want to hear this.
I just heard that he's going to cut his hair so she'll quit hitting him.
We do have a segment we should just roll right on into because it's about that time.
Speaking of self-defense,
Alrighty then.
it's never not funny.
It's never not funny. That's why I can't do a new one because again, I've tried multiple times and I
Yeah.
can't get that same energy.
Nope.
If only it wasn't nonsense.
They're
Right.
all
It's
nonsense. That's
complete
the joke.
nonsense.
They're all nonsense.
I absolutely love it. Anyway, so we have a lovely story from the Cowboy State Daily, which we're going to be having a lot of stories from them because they report on this stuff.
I'm gonna have
Thanks,
to find
Sam.
you a new news source.
Yeah, right. Anyway, this one, the title, the headline says Wyoming outdoorsmen say in grizzly country have a round chambered in your handgun. They then, I'm not going to like read it verbatim, but the author says that he had a chambered round in his Glock 10 mil. Female grizzly came out of thick timber 4 yards in front of them and just decided to eat them. So he drew and fired quickly enough that I don't know if she died. I'm not going to read the whole thing again to find that, but it did deter the bear attack. If he had to, he says if he had to try to chamber a round, he would have probably fumbled the gun, failed to chamber the round, and most likely gotten eaten by a grizzly. So
You deserve it.
I think fair. So he says primarily that having a chambered round saved his life probably, and I think that's fair. He writes about how old fears don't apply to new handguns, specifically the fear in the Old West that you drop your gun on a chambered round, or not a chambered round, but a round underneath the hammer, and the hammer hits the primer, then the primer is going to go off and you shoot yourself in the head. So it's best just to carry on an empty
That's
chamber.
legitimate.
But it is. I'm not saying it's illegitimate. I'm just saying it does not apply to semi-automatic handguns.
I mean, if it's a SIG, maybe.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure they would figure out a way to make the 320 go off with it not loaded.
Though even on some older handguns, they've I think Ruger did this with their single 6 series that they took. No, it was the Bearcat. I saw a little advertisement the other day. The Bearcat. It's just a 22, but they're like, hey, if you have an older one, you can send it to us and we'll retrofit it so that it uses a falling block safety instead of just the little tiny thing on the hammer that actually falls and hits the primer that's sitting there just waiting to be smacked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair.
like the safety I have on my little Heritage harness, that's a great little, it's a convenient, easy to operate little safety for a single action revolver. Pretty
I
nice
like
feature to
that
have.
safety. It also pisses me off because revolver, and then I'm like, God damn it! Why is this misfiring? Oh, it's
'Cause
me.
you forget about it, or you don't know which way is actually safe because it doesn't give you like the red is dead thing. It's just like you got to know if it's. You got to like look like okay, it's engaged or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that it? Click. No.
So I hate that. I hate a manual safety on a revolver because the falling block safety, okay, it's just that dingus that as long as you're not pulling the trigger, it's a bar that sits in between the firing pin and the hammer that as long as you're not pulling the trigger, that bar is doop, it's down out of the way and there's no way you can actually hit the primer. It's like there's no need for a mechanical safety on a revolver that has a falling block safety. It does not make sense. If it does not fit, you must acquit.
Especially
I
on a
agree.
single action revolver, I think the safeties on single action revolvers are less needed. Is the fact that if you're carrying a single action revolver with the hammer cocked,
I mean, what a
Well,
chat.
You got the balls.
I mean, yeah.
I wish I was that much of a man. Come to think of it, because
I wish you
and
were too, because
the
then you'd be
22s
more-
are
All right.
different. The trigger's not as loose, but you take like any large caliber, medium caliber revolver that's single action only, and that trigger goes from like 7 pounds to like 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hear me out.
So-
Hear me out.
Okay, I'll hear you out, but then I
For
want to
my
rein it back
next-
to the article.
So after I'm done carrying the JXP 10 for hunting season, next year I'm going to buy a Colt Walker. I'm going to need a chest holster for it, and we're going to carry it cocked and locked.
All right, you're a lunatic.
Hey,
So
you know
anyway,
what? The only person that's at threat of getting hit is your buddy next to you, or your nipple, depending.
I mean, if
Oh,
the
no,
buddy next
it's a
to him
big
gets
fucking
it,
pistol. The barrel is going to be hanging out beyond my
Yeah.
nipple. So the nipple's
How
gonna be-
long is that? What's the barrel length on it? 6 and a.
It's a
6?
very average barrel.
So 3.5.
Yes.
I mean, I believe the overall length of a Colt Walker is 15 some inches. So yeah, like no, I'm fine. Like it's gonna clear my arm
Okay.
even potentially.
Yeah.
Like then it's just
It's like walking around with one of those.
Sam
CC
says he can
contenders.
handle 15 hard inches just
and that's
fine.
a 40 and that's a 44 caliber sitting on top of essentially a black powder rifle charge. That'll do it. We're doing it. All right, next.
All right, so back to the article. Dude brought up the fear of handguns that spurred this ridiculous tangent, and said that modern semi-automatics, including the 1911, do not have that problem, except for the SIG 320. So it's kind of ridiculous to carry on an empty chamber when modern handguns just do not have that issue, except for the SIG 320. One of your biggest defenses, though, is situational awareness. Like, actually, it sounds dumb, I know, but being aware of your surroundings is your biggest defense. Like, don't be on your phone or chatting it up or what, loo, and suddenly a grizzly bear pops out 4 feet in front of you and you had no idea it was there. Like, at least be listening and aware that, hey, there's branches
if you're
crackling and stuff like that. Like,
If you're wandering around the woods singing "Lulu, I've got some apples," that actually
Right.
is good for the bear because they'll know you're coming.
and you've got some
It's the
apples, which the
dudes-
bear will enjoy.
It's the dudes who are out, like me, doing archery hunting, where you're trying to be really fucking sneaky. That's where you get in trouble.
Right.
Or these days, in the GYE, you shoot off a rifle and grizzly bear goes, "Ooh, dinner," and comes chasing you down for your elk.
Yep. Dickhead.
So there is on his story there is a, let's call it a regulation, a law with Michigan DNR that you're not actually allowed to walk out to your hunting area in the public with a round in the chamber. You have to wait until you get to your hunting spot to chamber around. Does everybody do that? No.
In your handgun?
Any firearm.
Th-
If that
So-
you're using for hunting. So if you're shotgun hunting, rifle hunting, you cannot go from the vehicle, load around, and walk to your hunting spot on public land.
Colorado's losing their ever-loving minds, but at least they're
Now-
leaving that kind of shit alone, because the Colorado law and the Colorado Constitution basically say you have a right to defend yourself even while hunting, and like even doesn't matter what you're carrying. Like, you can carry a handgun.
Your concealed
while hunting.
carry firearm, it doesn't apply. It's the one. So if you're out shotgun or rifle hunting,
Oh, okay.
you know what I mean.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
it's,
that makes
it's more
sense.
of the actual hunting firearm. not
Oh,
your
okay,
carry.
okay.
But
Okay,
it still
Colorado's
leaves
is
the
just
point
you can't have it chambered in the vehicle. Other than that, you're.
Hmm.
So once
And
you
that's the
like
same
leave
here
your
for your
vehicle, then-
hunting, for your guns and everything. If it's not your concealed carry or a pistol, because Michigan's strange like that, and we have a concealed pistol license. So where other states have a CCW,
yeah,
where it's a concealed weapon.
Yep.
Which opens up the door to, like, I can carry a big old knife on me, and it's a concealed carry weapon. I cannot carry this blade on me because it is over 3 inches and it's fixed. I can't carry this concealed unless I just say this is a tool, not a weapon, and that's what my argument will always be. It's a tool.
Yep. It's a tool.
And
It's not a screwdriver, but it's a tool.
my knives are all screwdrivers,
I know. Mine
and they're
was
pry
too.
bars, and they're
And
picks.
I had to make my own Tanto blade.
It's about 90% of my knives turn out like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Little missing just the tip.
Yep.
So-
just the tip.
Final subject on the article. He does touch briefly
yeah.
on he likes to unchamber and walk across uneven ground with an empty chamber, and I'm like, that's pretty dumb, honestly.
Fud.
Yeah, it really is kind of like he says, don't fall into the 19 or the revolver myths and stuff like. I'm sorry, they're not myths; they're actual things, but they're myths when it comes to semi-autos. Don't fall into that kind of thing. And then immediately is like, oh, I fall into that kind of thing on uneven ground. Like if it's a Glock 20, it's not going off if you fall down.
Unless you're walking around with the finger on the trigger.
Right. So other
And that's
than
what it is, a
that,
quality holster.
Putting it about right here too.
other than
Yeah.
that, he says bear spray and some other stuff is handy to have, but your best bet is the equipment that you have. You need to do drills with it, quick draw drills, like dry fire drills, like I'm always harping about. Perfect for this. So you get yourself a new lightly used handgun from AIM Surplus for a ridiculously cheap price because the cops don't want it no more, but it's in 40, so it's actually pretty decent bear defense caliber.
But it's a 320, so you're just screwed.
No, you get you a Glock 22 for $300. I'm serious, man.
Oh, I know, but the 320s are going to be. I mean, they've already been piling up on the the law enforcement trade-in guns where you can get them on different websites.
I'm
This is
surprised they're
just more and
taking
more.
them. I'm surprised they're not like, no,
Our
we're
local
not.
shops are not taking them. They've pulled their inventory and they won't even take them.
Like it's basically not unobtainium, but the exact opposite. Like it's a stock that's falling fast and nobody wants it anymore, and you can't get rid of it fast enough.
My suggestion is to everybody out there that has a 320 that's thinking about trading it in, hold on to it, unload it, put it in the safe, pointed somewhere downward just in case. But hold on to it, because if SIG does either come out with a fix or goes bankrupt, and then maybe it'll be worth something because the company's no longer live.
That's what I'm thinking on.
Just hold on to it, and just wait for the fix. Get some aftermarket parts. I don't think. I'm sure someone's going to come up with an aftermarket FCU for that. That's going to maybe fix that slop, and I think that's all they really need to do is the locking block, essentially, that locks into the rail. If they can fix that to remove that play from the slide to the frame.
I wonder if that Mystery Machines, or is it Mystery Machine?
No, because
Like from
Grip module
Scooby-Doo?
doesn't actually have the rails on it. It's in the FCU. So no matter what grip module you put on it, the FCU is still SIG's product, and that's what actually locks into the slide. So someone would have to put an aftermarket FCU chassis in order to fix that problem.
Mike, you're talking Mischief Machine.
Thank you.
Yeah, he said-
Mystery
I didn't catch you
Machine
said Mystery
I know
Machine.
that's
involves
the Scooby-Doo
Shaggy and a
thing.
dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ruh-roh Raggy. I know. I said it and I was like, that's not correct, but they'll know what I mean.
But you
That's
said it
the
anyway.
wrong- That's the wrong.
No, I said it,
machine.
and I said it,
it
and
is.
then in my head I went, wait, right. Anyway.
Then Mike is like, zoinks.
Zoinks. Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, you get you a nice Glock 22 from AIM Surplus, and then you hit up Klecker, and he makes you a nice holster for it, whether it's a chest rig and a belly band or fucking
17 on a belly band. That's
Do you
not
smell
not belly
toast?
band, dude.
Are they burning toast in your house right now? Do I
I've
need
been
to
having a
call 911?
strong for decades. Okay. Fanny pack. That's a tough word to find. You get the fanny pack holster. I really, really like this one. The only I like it so much it vanished. Anyway, the only thing I'm not a fan hugely of is the level 2 hood. The push button is not user friendly, and I know that's not your doing. It's just the manufacturer of said push button hood. And
you have to practice and train with it because it is different
Yeah.
than most other hoods. The button is positioned to be a little bit lower, and it is a push and release, and it is made to be intentional. So it is not going to be. It was made So that way there was no accidental way that the hood could be deployed, like with a strap or a rifle sling getting caught in there and
Okay.
pushing your hood unintentionally. So it needs to be a very intentional push. And you can adjust the screws if we did tighten them up too tight.
Yeah.
You can adjust those screws a little bit to allow the hood to move forward and then just relock tight the screws. But it does have a little bit of a training curve to it because it is more internally, it is tougher. All the other hoods that we've demoed and had in the past, we've gotten rid of, except for one other one that we might bring back because they had more failures and they were defeatable. So the only other one that had a push button was the Spetsgear Speed Lock, which is a very common level 2 hood that other people were using. The problem is it was really easy to use, but out of the box you had to heat them and lube them. Otherwise they would stick. The button would stick to the rear. You'd hit the button and the hood wouldn't deploy forward. And you can grab a hold of the hood and you could defeat it. So what's the point of level 2 if someone can walk up and grab your hood and break it?
What hood are you using?
Yeah, that'll make.
It is a TRS, Talon Retention Systems level 2 hood.
There it is.
Because it looks a lot like the one I have, in which case, yeah, that's the same one I have.
So I was going to say, but you said it for me. Like I can train out of this. Like it's not a big deal. It just, so used to just getting the gun right in the web, and this just gets right in the way of that. But you're right.
Have
It's
bigger
not-
hands.
Listen here.
Yeah. And so difference, a lot of people are going to be used to like the Safariland ALS and SLS style hoods, but those are a little bit different of a mechanism because they're not a spring-loaded hood. Their level of retention has a chamber lock, so it actually has a mechanism that locks into the chamber, and then your button that you're hitting is releasing a lever bar that's unlocking the chamber for you to actually retrieve it out.
Inside the holster.
Okay.
The nicest
So it's
thing
all
about
internals.
the nicest thing about the ALS is the fact that you don't have to reset a hood. You just drop the gun back in the holster and off you go.
Yeah. And I will always recommend anybody. I've had a couple of police departments reach out. It's like, hey, can you do a level 2 holster? So it's like, I can, but I will not recommend our level 2 for actual duty. I would recommend getting Safariland. Like, well, Safariland doesn't make it for our combination. Like, well, if I'm your last chance and we'll do something, I just want to know that Safariland holds the market as far as retention holsters go, and any other holster maker will tell you the same thing. Or hopefully they do, because it's just the honest truth. I can't compete with Safariland and their designs. I can put an SLS hood on a holster for you and make it a level 3 with a lock on it. And that's their SLS when you push down and ride it forward, and it's not spring loaded. And a lot of times I always recommend with these people that want a level 2 hood for like security or smaller things, and that's really what it's meant for. It can be used for police and duty, but I would always try to say get a Safariland if you can. And if your department has a light and pistol combination because you have to source your own stuff, well, maybe source something that Safariland offers, because they're usually offering stuff for popular, well-known, reliable firearms. So
And equipment.
yeah.
So I will say, I appreciate the fact that you ran through all sorts of different hood manufacturers, tried a bunch of different ones out. I appreciate that this one will be quite suitable for being out in the wilderness. Like there's no branches that are going to catch this button. It's my issue with it is purely trainable. The ergonomics of it, the function of it, everything are going to suit my needs perfectly in the woods, and I think that's pretty awesome. It's just I have to get used to it, and I don't like change.
Yeah. Well, and if there's anything that breaks on our holsters, we warranty that. So if any screws break or Kydex breaks, anything like that was known to be not negligent or purposeful, we will replace that 100%.
Sweet. I appreciate that. We'll have to talk offline, but I'm going to have to buy a 365 holster from you too, because I'm tired of using this stupid SIG holster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I knew you would make that face.
So SIG and Canik are really kind of them to give you a holster with their guns, but they're made
it holsts.
Yeah.
super thin injection molded. I think the Canic ones are they're plastic. They are, or I mean, my stuff is thermoplastics, but theirs is like plastic. And it's
Bob's flirting with me in the chat again. Or is he always flirting with me in the chat? I'm not sure.
It's not
And then he-
flirting. It's stalking.
In any case, I'm into it.
He's
It's a little light
luring you
stalking
in.
among friends. But yeah,
You keep real quick. You keep comparing yourself, like you keep saying that nobody can compete with Safari Land, but you're not in their price bracket either.
right.
So
That's
you're
true.
you're far cheaper than Safari.
It is a different market. I will say they're at
Yeah.
a different market level, 100%. And
Like
most
the-
everybody that's at my level, they're going to be using the same, if not within the other 3 manufacturers of hoods. They're all going to be using those
Yeah.
one of 3.
Yeah, I would just say comparing you to them is like apples and oranges. Like you're a
Oh,
different class. You're our people.
Their stuff is way different, but just in the
Yeah.
comparison, when people think retention holsters and duty stuff, the first thing that comes to anybody's mind if they know anything is Safari.
Yeah.
And
So
the thing
you
is, I
have
didn't want to
Blade Tech
pay
and
like
Blackhawk.
$200 for something like this for just because it's just like when I can go out there in my garage, and this isn't a knock on you, but if I can go out in my garage and I can press Kydex into something that holds my Glock and then put like some sort of crude snap over it, I'd rather do that than pay $200 fucking for a holster.
It's because you never used a Safari Land, sir.
I have.
Not like an ALS.
It's just
And that's the other thing you got to remember too is that this hood is not meant to be a quick draw hood. The
Yep,
Safari Land, Safari Land ALS system is designed to be able to do a quick draw.
It's
And they have
smooth.
their level 4 retention, and so you got the Safari Land. When people think about it, they're the ones who actually have almost defined the rule of what levels of retention actually are. That we get those from Safari Land Group. And there's actually
Safari
4
Land and the
levels.
Jews.
That's detention.
Wait a minute.
That's different. So with the Safari Land stuff is they have I think up to 4 different levels of retention, and the one that they have, they're level 3s. I don't know if you guys ever watched Milspec Mojo on YouTube.
A little bit.
Yep.
The fastest I've ever seen anybody to get, he can get out of a level 3 holster faster than you could with like an open top, no retention.
Mm-hmm.
Like you would think he doesn't have any levels of retention. Because they have designed ones where you have to, I think you have to push you have to actually push the gun down to unlock it, and then it has to come straight up. If it comes out at any angle, forward or back, as if like someone was trying to get a gun out of your holster, it will not release. So you've got to be very smooth and intentional with how you get it out. But that's for quick. Mine, I always say, if you are walking around and you're preparing to use it, drop the hood down. When I have mine, like when I do like events that I'm gonna have level 2, if I'm running a gun and the hood's up, and then I know I need to use the pistol, I preemptively drop the hood. So when I go to draw from it, I don't have to do it, and I don't, reduce my draw time. And then it's up for admin walking around. That's about it.
yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm.
I'm definitely going to work with it. I really like dry firing.
You can get quick
love
with
the
it.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sure, I'm sure you can get your draw times to cut down on it.
I'm kind of considering finding a small piece of foam to put on the hinge part right here, or not the button part right here, so that I can dig my thumb into it and like dig the hinge of my thumb. Right now that hurts because it's kind of sharp in the Kydex the way they built it there. But if there was a little bit of foam, just quick squish it down real quick
Mhm.
and then pull it out. That might work really well, but I need foam. I have foam.
I've made extension triggers for them for a couple of guys that were doing multi-gun shoots, and I actually 3D printed an extension to bring that trigger kind of up to more when you get a full grip. It's more where your thumb wants to rest, like a little more far forward. Because that
Yeah.
was my complaint with it too. And I've talked to the manufacturer directly and said, hey, one of the only issues I've ever had with this is just the trigger placement. It's too low. I think it should be higher. And then I just started to move the whole housing further down, like I did with yours, is it's just further down. so that way it did make it a little bit nicer. But
Yeah.
the only thing downside that I had to do is I had to shift everything else down with it. So that means that your QLS forks and your UBO mounts now are going to sit lower, so your gun's not going to have as much of a drop. But
Yeah, it on sitting on my belt, it sits perfectly. It's exactly where I wanted it. So, yeah, it's going to work out really, really well. I can't wait to actually take some pictures out in the wilderness and showcase how it. I'm a huge fan of this carry method. I know in a lot of cases it may not work too well with certain packs that you wear. I may have to find, like, I'm starting to think about the QLS method and start, like, right now on my hunting belt I have rangefinder monocular. It's not plural if there's one. A knife, a whole bunch of stuff that I could like drill QLS mounts into, and then I could like take that stuff off if I were to put on a big pack and wrap that around my waist, because I would make sure that I have a pack that the QLS fork or the UBL mid ride and everything, make sure everything clears. And if it didn't clear, then I might get a low ride and try to clear it that way. But in any case, my major issue with chest holsters is always that, like, primarily I do layers often. I put stuff on, I take stuff off, and the last thing I want to do is put stuff on and take stuff off. I have to keep putting back on every single time. Like, I gotta take the fucking gun off just to take my hoodie off, and then put the hoodie, throw the hoodie in the backpack, put the gun back on. That's why then you're taking a prone shot. You go to get prone, and the holster just digs right into your chest bone, right at the wrong point. Like, the way that yours are built, the way that it tucks it up over the side of your pec, over by your collarbone, I think that would mitigate that problem quite a bit. I'm guessing
Just
you may have,
adjusting them right will mitigate
Right.
it. Most people wear everything on their chest way too damn low.
most
Chest
people.
rigs, buy now harnesses, all that crap. They wear it down by their
I
damn
found
belt.
that out.
You got to have
I
that
did not
shit up here by your fucking sternum. And
Wear
you won't
just like
have
you would
any
a plate
issues
carrier.
going prone.
Yeah, I made that mistake with mine. Now my chest rig with my mag carriers, I couldn't. I had to actually drop it down to where it was lower, because otherwise I couldn't get my mags out without punching myself in the chin. So, which the first time I put it on like I would a plate carrier, like you were saying, up here, and I went to go get a mag out, and it's like, oh, I can't do that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, Montana Dirt Roads called it my utility belt. Like, I mean, it kind of is. Like, there's the knife, there's mag pouches on that side, rangefinder. Then you go to the other side there's another knife, monocular holster, and a dump pouch. I also have an AR mag holster I made on there as well, just for when I go out hunting beaver, in case I have to take 30 shots and empty the rifle at it.
I mean, it's also antelope, but don't limit it to beaver. If you want to see a guy run a bolt gun really fast, take Mike hunting. Doesn't matter if it's coyotes, antelope, doesn't matter.
I hate you. That's the most backhanded compliment I've ever fucking got.
You're welcome.
it's called a left-handed compliment. All right, Vince, do you have some questions that we need to
I have
get
a
through
couple of questions.
before
All right,
we
so
end
Charles,
this rodeo?
yeah, let's move this along a little bit. So you've actually done some hunting, and I have to ask, what's the biggest win that you've experienced while out in the woods and hunting?
Biggest win?
The biggest win.
None. It's all.
Okay, so
Now-
you fit in around here. Got it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I also
Well-
have no accomplishments.
Your
I
first
have
hunt was
had-
in Africa, Mike. You son of a
Yeah.
bitch.
Yes, I've got a lot of. I've hunted quite a bit, private and public, and I've had more failures than I've had anything. It's
Well, it's
I
hunting.
am. Well, I So I compare myself to it being I'm not a hunter. I like to hunt. I like to do it. It's not at the top of my, like when it's like hunting season, I'm not like dropping everything and going. Like I will do it when I have time, and I'll do it when it's convenient. But it's not a priority to me. I would like to make it more of a priority just to be able to fill a freezer or two with like have one for like waterfowl I plant. I got a turkey gun. Well, you can't see. I got a turkey gun built. I've got some waterfowl guns built, and I have not had any. I've shot at deer at them. I killed a tree one year. I killed it good.
Smoke that pine.
With a schwacker too. So it was like wham! My buddy 30 yards behind me texts me. He's like, "You hit a tree, didn't you?" I'm like, "I don't know." He's like, "No, that's what a schwacker sounds like. I know what it sounds like when it hits a deer. I didn't hit a deer." I'm like, "Well, we'll find out." No, that was one of those last light shots. I should have taken it earlier when they came in. It was a button buck and some two does behind it, and I had the thinking they're too small because the does were the same size as the button buck. And I'm like, they can't be that big, so I'm just gonna let them go by. And I sent a snap to my buddy. He's like, "Oh no, I'll totally take those." Remember the tree stand? Like they look a lot smaller because I'm still new to it. He's like, "They look smaller when you're 20 feet up in the air." I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, fine." I look back and they were over on my right now, and I'm a right-handed shooter, so I was like, "Well, I don't know how I'm gonna get myself positioned for this." And I waited too long, and I didn't see the low-hanging branch that was right in line where I was shooting. So,
Was that rifle or was that
that was bow.
bow? Okay, yeah. So the sound of a broadhead smacking a tree is distinctive and memorable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when it's a schwacker. If you've ever used those,
A schwacker. No.
so they got the name for how when it impacts the deer, it makes a schwack. It makes a sound like a
thwack.
notable sound because it's mechanical, but it's a little bit. I think I was using rages for a bit, and someone's like, "Don't use rages; they can deploy in the air. They'll pre-deploy, and then they're not used. No, they're not as good." But yeah, I did have one with a shotgun that was my fault. It was my first time ever with a smooth bore with a rifled slug, and I had a bait pile 25 yards in front of me, and a 6-point came to another bait pile that I forgot about 40 yards to my right. I had been practicing for a 25-yard shot, and I did not adjust for the 40-yard shot. And I think I dropped it. I think I raised his belly a little bit because 20 within 10 yards with those rifled slugs is like, I mean, a massive drop, especially at 40 yards. It's just, I didn't know that.
Going back to bows real quick. We don't talk a lot about bows on the show because, I mean, Sam is our main bow hunter guy.
Yeah.
But
Big quotation marks around that just to make sure we're on the same page.
I mean, I have one, but I don't use it much. Are you still a mechanical broadhead guy, or are you fixed?
I would do anything. Honestly, the bow that I've got, I probably shouldn't put. It's a 1991 Jennings or 97, maybe.
I had a Jennings. The cams were about this big.
Yeah, and there was only one.
Yeah.
So I got it for $50 at a garage sale. Spent $75 getting it restrung, and then maybe another like $50 in add-ons to make it shootable. And I am fairly confident that it's not set to the 60 pounds that it says that they set it to. I think it's set to like 25.
Oh,
oh, it's one of those like you could easily pull it back in your lap. Like there's no.
Yeah, that's not a 65-pound bow then.
my Jennings was the opposite. Like you could feel every bit of that 70 pounds, and the let off was like 10%. So it was like,
I don't even think I have left. I don't know. I feel like it's old. I don't ever use it. I'm not much of a bow hunter. I'm more comfortable with guns. Like I actually had the shake. The first time I pulled back on 2 deer with a bow, and I actually got that shake. And I was like, what the heck is this crap? Like they talked about the whole buck fever. I'm like, I'm not gonna get that. And I got it, and I was like, this is ridiculous. Like I'm telling myself, stop being a wimpy, stop shaking, and I'm like, I can't stop it.
Yeah.
And when I pulled back on a rifle, though, the few deer that I've actually sighted in on with a rifle, I have no buck fever when it's with a rifle. I did have one. I have a 450 CVA Scout single shot. That's in 450 Bushmaster, and I almost took a shot last year, and I'm glad I didn't for two reasons. The scope base on that rifle when I got it, I didn't check it from the factory. It came loose.
Oh.
Mhm.
So my zero was probably not on. I went to go take the shot though, and me and my brother-in-law were sitting in a small little blind. We're only at maybe 20 yards, and he was sitting to my left, and he had from his point of view, clear shot to the chest. Me, I had about a 4-inch sapling that split her chest. And I'm like, I don't have a shot. He's like, oh yeah, you do. You can get it. I'm like, I'm shooting a 450 Bushmaster. Like, I don't have, like, if I'm off by like that tree, I'm smoking the tree. And
I mean,
um,
it's a 450 Bushmaster. Just take the tree and then the deer.
And then the refrigerator behind the deer.
yeah. So I think she was still standing maybe another 10 feet behind. So the deflection I probably would have missed.
Yeah.
But I was talking to a friend of mine about that shot and why I didn't take it. And he's like, yeah, I wouldn't have taken that either. It's like, why? I'm like, you would have had one heck of a time cleaning that deer. I'm like, really? He's like, oh, you don't want to shoot a deer head on with a 450. I'm like, really? No. Ask me how I know. It's a mess.
I mean, if you shoot her right here, then maybe that's fine.
Oh, no. I was aiming like here. He's like, throat shot it if you're going to do it. If you're going to take it straight on, do it in the throat. And I'm like, really? It's like, yeah. But I'm glad I didn't because my base was loose and I'm sure my zero was off.
I still have a
nice.
dream of shooting a deer straight on, but shooting low and just splitting the sternum all the way down and then
Just
hitting
unzipping.
I want to show up and the deer is gutted.
Yeah.
Well, that would be nice.
Pick
But
up.
I thought about that with the 450. If I get her in the throat with the 450, then I don't have to go up there and cut this off. I can just do a traditional gut and just everything comes out. But we tested that theory. We tried just cutting the neck all the way back to the spine to see if it would just come out, and it doesn't work.
No, there's a whole bunch of shit that holds it in there. Like,
Yeah.
otherwise,
Well-
you just flop around like goo all day.
That diaphragm
well-
will get you.
Yeah, it will.
Goo all the way down.
But yeah, no successful hunting stories. I'm pretty lame when it comes to hunting. I just pretend that I'm a hunter.
Well,
So
is we,
what's,
you fit in well.
What's your dream hunt?
I
successful
want
one.
to hunt I always want to hunt something that I'm being hunted. So I did want to do a predator hunt. It's always I think the thrill of hunting something and being hunted at the same time would be kind of fun.
That explains infantry in the Marines.
I'm not saying you can hunt wolves in Colorado, but there are wolves in Colorado.
There's wolves in the UP of Michigan too, but I think they are protected.
Well, if
The
you're hunting
DNR.
wolves in Colorado, you're being hunted by CPW while you're hunting the
Yeah.
wolves in Colorado.
It's
So
same here.
that's kind of like
You're hunting something that something else is hunting you.
But
I'm
I
not
want to hunt.
condoning fucking hunting wolves, fish squeezer.
I will say this, so I will redact that a little bit, and I will say minigun helicopter hog hunt. That's my dream hunt.
Everybody keeps coming back to the aerial kill something hunts, and I'm kind of on board with it. Especially the minigun. Yes, please.
Minigun, or even just give me any type of machine gun. Like give me a Mod Deuce in a helicopter. I didn't care if it's ARs for a while now, but man, you could give me something heavy and a field of hogs and a really good helicopter pilot, and that's gonna be fun.
I frankly would enjoy the Modus much, much more than the minigun in a field of hogs. I think just the chunka. I'm just watching hogs die. I mean, there's something
I've had
about
buddies that have shot both. Mark 19, anybody?
Ooh, there we go. You want to talk about
mean-
cleaned and gutted?
You see the
40
video of the
million.
guy doing hunting baited tannerite? I'm just saying,
Pig
40
pieces
Mike
right
Mike
there.
HDPE and just start laying into them.
All right. Aerial Mark 19 hog hunt in Texas.
If they
We should keep a spreadsheet for these.
We should.
See, I feel like we've been robbed of something in the fact that we can't own mortars, because you take this and you apply the baited tannerite, but you're dropping a mortar in on them
Mm-hmm.
and just hitting it all at once and watching it go off. Like, I feel like we should have that. That should be ours.
don't know
this
if you
is
know this.
America.
I don't know if you know this, but the howitzers they park outside the VFW are free.
I don't know if you know this, but the howitzers that they use for avalanche mitigation, they destroy. And I think that is a fucking travesty.
Yeah.
now I'd be actually just thinking of that howitzer, but to scale it down to a cannon that everybody can go own with no FFL. Cannons with whatever shot you want. Basically, just make a field claymore out of a cannon with a tripwire. When those hogs come by,
Grape shot.
I mean, I have no problem
Yeah.
smoking a hog with like a 12-pound bowling ball. I think that would be fun.
yeah,
Well, if you get some bounce going to it, you might be able to take out 2 or 3.
Yeah. But like the Patriot.
I'm getting all sorts
Or
of
just
like
fucking-
the Patriot vibes right now. Like,
Well, that's
and I was also,
I was
you know,
thinking
you know
dragon's
the
breath or
shirt that Nick
flechettes
does.
inside of a cannon.
You know the shirt that Nick does with that guy who killed himself on it. It says, "Hey man, nice shot." You could do that, but instead you have a field of redcoats and a bunch of them are just mowed down behind one cannon, and you say, "Hey man, grape shot."
I'm going to mute you.
Mhm.
so. Vince, next question.
Yep. Yeah. Next question.
All right.
I think you might have something to say about this one. So imagine you had to go into bear country. We're talking grizzly bear country. You can't carry a rifle. You can only carry a handgun. What are you carrying, and what is it chambered in?
I will probably be carrying a. That's a good one. But I'll give you the caliber first. It's going to be a 10 mil. I'm trying to think which way I can get the highest capacity 10 mil, and it's probably going to be an XDM. That's mainly just because it's double stack. I can put mag extensions on it. It's a full size gun you can get with a 5 1/4 barrel, so it's going to be nice and accurate.
And
And
you've got the grip zone.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that. The only other option I think would have to be that I think would be effective against the grizzly, and I'm not 100% on this, but I think 5.7. I think the M&P 5.7 might actually be more effective than a 10 mil, but I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know if it's going to have the stopping power.
The problem is with a grizzly, any large predator, you need disabling shots. Like getting to the heart isn't going to save your ass. You need to destroy brainstem, or you need to break bones.
Yeah, and I guess what you got a rifle round on that skull, the way that the
Well, I mean, whatever.
Hilarious.
Even pistol rounds will tend to skip off the top, from what I've read. Not like I've actually.
right, you'd have
one.
more of a chance with a
you
higher
need-
velocity
You need
rifle.
spine damage, brain damage, or to get a massive lead deep enough that it breaks through a shoulder bone, or goes through vitals and gets down to a pelvis.
With
And that's
either
where I think
one,
the
you would
10 mil
need
comes
to. You would have to go with a solid bullet. You couldn't use an expanding bullet in a 5.7.
gotta be
It
hard
would, it would
cast lead.
not. It would not have
It's
enough
copper.
penetration.
Hmm.
So that's where the 5.7 does better, taking that velocity, getting some expansion with a bullet, and it's more violent. But with something the size of a grizzly, you can't really rely on velocity to get wounding, because a pistol caliber is that's kind of the premise. Like, a pistol caliber is a major concession no matter what the pistol caliber is, and 5.7, like, I wouldn't pick 5.7 in this. Like, not saying I wouldn't shoot the grizzly if I had a 5.7. Like, I'm unloading, but
You could just shoot yourself with it instead. Well, this is over.
we'll just be sure to count and leave one.
So buffalo bore ammunition, I think for 10 mil. I remember we used to carry it at the store. I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick.
So
They did
Buffalo
have a
Bore
10
makes they make their outdoorsman load in 10 mil. Underwood,
think it's
I
got
carry.
325 grain.
I'm not sure if it's that heavy, but
I'll
yeah.
I'll reiterate that
For 10 mil.
Alaskan Bear Guide Phil Shoemaker killed a sow grizzly with, I don't know if it was a Smith & Wesson Shield. Actually, I think it was a Shield, or maybe it was a 938. Either way, with a 9mm using the Buffalo Bore 147 grain. And a number of those had over 3 feet of penetration through bear.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I am highly intrigued.
Yeah, so the Buffalo Bore one that was a full lead was 220, but I believe they had a larger grain than 220.
yeah, I don't know. The Underwoods that I carry 45 Super in are 255 grains. Yeah.
The other ones
Hard cast lid,
45
big bullet.
255 grains.
More grains, less velocity, half a caliber bigger.
But they
That's fair.
I think that 10 mil and out of anything that I can fit more than 15 in, and then I'll be good.
All right, last question, and this is the big one.
It's almost like you didn't want to say Glock 20.
The Glock 20, when it comes to
Splitting
10
it.
mils, it's like the biggest. It's so big.
Yeah.
There's other
It
10 mils out
fucking
there that are
is.
not as bulky. I mean, heck, I can go with you got it really nice. You can go with the Rock Island TAC Ultra in 10 mil and then run a 2011 style 10 mil. And I'd rather do that over a Glock 20.
I've actually
It
held
actually
one of
sounds
those,
like
and
a
it's
really
not,
good option.
It's not uncomfortable to hold that gun.
The Rock Island.
Because the nice thing about
The Rock
1911
Island, yeah.
11 styles is that you can go from 10 mil, 45, and 9 mil, and it's all the same frame size. Nothing changes.
Mhm.
All the externals are all the same.
That's a heavy gun too, and the trigger you can make it really nice because it's a 1911 trigger. You could do a lot of fun stuff with that.
Yeah, I take back the XD. Let's go TAC 11 in 10 mil.
Yeah.
All right.
This sounds fun.
All
I'm
right.
interested.
Last question. If you could hunt one dinosaur, what would you hunt and what would you hunt it with?
Well, I'm gonna go with. Let's just say that the Jurassic Park's version of Velociraptor. I won't nerd out on dinosaurs, but we'll just say their Velociraptor, which is not.
Utah Raptor.
The Deinonychus.
Yeah. We other dino nerds. Look at this. And then I just have to, because Marlin put it on the website. I'm gonna have to use a Marlin 45-7. The
Marlin
was the
4570 for
1865
the-
Trapper.
It would be fun to dome a raptor with a 4570.
I'd love to
Clever
see
girl.
remakes of Jurassic Park, except guns work.
Yeah. I'd like to see remakes of Jurassic Park where they bring combat effective troops.
So, have you guys heard of Primitive War?
No.
It was a yeah.
I
Or
have
Primitive
s-
War is a what is it? I think that's what it is. It's off of a novel book, but basically it's like Jurassic Park that's rated R.
Oh my.
And it's based off of it's like a Vietnam team that goes in and they stumble across dinosaurs that start attacking the troops, and there's like a screenshot one of the videos of this raptor coming up out of the fiery smoke with a like K-bar in its eye. Like it's it looks pretty cool.
That is indeed what it's called. It's let's see.
I think it's Prime.
It
It's
might
not-
be Prime. It says,
Anyway,
dude, I'm
Mike,
watch that.
every time your screen changes, I think you lose power again.
Yeah. I don't have any other lights on, so
So yeah, let's go with the Marlin lever action in 4570 and Utah Raptor. Final answer.
I like it. That's
Screw a
solid
T-Rex. I'm not
choice.
going up against a 40-foot T-Rex.
No, that's what a 105 is for.
What about a Mark 19 from a helicopter?
Too much of a sprint.
Helicopter's cheating. Like from a helicopter, you might as well use a 22.
That
Well, he
is
can't-
unethical.
But it'll be hilarious when he tries to get you with his tiny little arms. Yeah.
It's-
I know.
It's that's not fair chase, Mike.
It's a T-Rex. I don't
Facts.
want fair chase. I want a dead T-Rex and not be dead
Hey.
myself.
You got to go with a 505 Gibbs in a double rifle,
Much better.
like the professional hunter from the Short Happy Life of Francis McComber.
And you thought he didn't have tisms.
Who,
Oh,
me?
that's-
Yeah,
Yeah, it
you.
was me, yeah. It's Hemingway.
I said
Look it
Vince
up.
had tisms.
Look it up, Sweaty.
Sam said he didn't.
Alrighty then. No, I didn't. No, I said I don't. You're the one who said Vince didn't have any.
Bullshit, I didn't say. I said he does. I said you don't. Anyway, somebody has tisms, somebody doesn't. We'll find out next time.
You have the memory of an overbaked rock in the sun. Anywho, Tucker, tell people where they can find you.
All right, well, you can go to our website at duckyourtactical.com. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at the handle of Collector Tactical. We're most active on Instagram and Facebook, so you can find us there. And you can always just send us an email at collectortactical@gmail.com.
All right. All I have to say, Dave, is that was me scraping the bottom of the barrel. I don't know why.
Dude,
the
it
hell that
worked.
cracked you up.
It fucking worked though.
I mean,
Sometimes the bottom of the barrel's got a zinger.
All right.
And,
If
I
it's quick
consider
enough, and it doesn't
mistake.
have to make sense. It was just the execution.
Oh, I
was
felt like
slow.
that one was slow as hell. Because I was
I,
staring at the show notes. I was like, I got to come up with something.
Klecker, I do like
Yeah.
your website a lot. It's very
Yeah.
easy to use.
I design and
Everything you
manage my own
need.
website.
Everything you need, nothing
And
you don't.
I test it with my dad, and if he can navigate my website, then everybody
you-
can navigate
There
my
you
website.
go.
That'll do it. That'll
I
do
like
it.
that.
that'll do, Boomer.
We didn't talk anything about price points. Let me just throw this out there real quick. The level 2 that I got from him, I think, is only like $100, literally
Fair.
$100 even, which is way, way, way better than Stream
Safari
Lands. Yeah, Safari Lands $200 holsters.
Our fanny
So-
pack holsters start at 40. Basic inside the waistband start at 55. Your outside the waistbands are going to start at 60. And then your duties are going to be 100 and up. And then all your different attachments, as far as if you have a light, if you want to change the color, the texture, or different attachment styles, that's going to adjust the price. But we try to be very competitive and very fair on price because everybody should be able to afford a holster. It's not like $200 for an inside the waistband. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, like it's already $200 for a light, which is why I don't have a light. Bro,
And you can
You-
buy your
you need a
lights
fucking
and your
light.
soon you'll be able to get your optics and spare magazines as well. So you can get the entire everyday package. You can already get core belts on from us. To be able to
I
be
am
a-
having the worst case of fucking deja vu because I'm pretty sure Mike has said this. Lights are expensive. I don't have a light before.
well, I'm pretty sure you're just having deja vu.
And
but,
on this show,
we've done
Oh,
100 and
shit.
some 135 episodes already, so yeah, it's possible. I've said that before.
oh
Anyway,
God, I'm stuck in a time loop. I'm going to have to unload those 3 pallets of tile for the rest of my life.
Klecker, important question. Do you do tuckable concealed holsters? Do you do tuckable mag pouches?
There's
Yes.
a bundle.
Like if you
So-
you should have a bundle where you do like a tuckable mag pouch and holster for
So if you select the Ulti clip, both Ulti clips that we have, the 3, except for the X, no, the XL is also tuckable. So all of our Ulti clip options are going to be tuckable. If you select the DCC monoblock, not a monoblock, the DCC HLR4 Mod 4, that is also a tuckable clip. It's a drop J style hook loop where you can tuck your shirt in behind it. The Ulti clip is going to be the best tuckable for formal wear. So you can take the Ulti clip attached to your slacks or dress pants tuck your shirt in, and your belt goes over the belt clip. So even when you are tucked and dressed, you don't even see the belt clip over the belt. So you're completely concealed.
That is
And
way cooler than the crap I made.
And then you can put the ulti clip onto the mag carrier. You can select that as the option that would give you a tuckable inside the waistband mag carrier.
That is really cool.
Wait a minute. You could just bungee all of these together.
Yep. So we have 3 different bundles. We have the basic, the pro, and the elite. The basic bundle gives you a mag carrier, dump tray, and a holster. We have your pro bundle, which is a core belt and a holster, and then your elite, which basically combines the first 2 packages.
Well, now I'm looking at it like you can like daisy chain all these holsters together and just like put a half dozen guns all around your waist.
He did say he did that.
I wasn't paying attention.
The ulti tuck only adds $10, by the way, which is I think very reasonable.
If that goes under your belt, that takes out one of the biggest problems of tucking. Not that anybody's going to look at your belt often and be like, "Hey, what's that?"
Mhm.
But
And
does
that's
take
another
that
thing
out
too that we are going to start doing once I'm done with all of my belt clips is we're not going to stop having them lasered with a bright logo that you see in all the images. And we're going to laser them in-house with just a smaller low-end laser, so that way it's just black. It'll still have our logo, but it's not going to be as bright and poppy. So that way, when you do have a belt clip sticking on your belt, it's not going to be as flashy, a little bit more
Nice.
concealable. in a
That's
sense. Even though
awesome.
Anybody that sees a belt clip on a belt, that they're like, gun.
But you have to be in the know, because if you're not in the know, you're like, "Hey, why is that? What's that clip?" Oh,
Mhm.
whatever.
We've talked about this before, though. Like, you can definitely tell who carries a fanny pack for a certain mission.
Right.
Like, one has snacks and one has a gun, just
Right.
depending on like the guy's beard.
There is
Mine's
this
got both.
dude in my daughter's
Yeah.
karate school.
beard and
who
gut.
is
Beard and
Goldilocks,
gut. Sucks.
wears an army hat, like it's a OCP hat. Very clearly Army, because Fort Carson's right around here. But so this dude's obviously Army. Wears a fanny pack, and we leaned over to my wife while we were at karate one time, and I was like, "Hey, guess what's in that fanny pack?" And she's like, "I don't know, snacks." And I was like, "No, it's a gun." She's like, "How do you know?" And I was like, "Look at him. He doesn't have snacks in there. He has a gun."
You got to aim to be tactically androgynous. Like, is it snacks? Is it gun? We don't know.
Joke's on you.
I think
He
my
whips
snack-
out a mozzarella stick.
Hence
Oh,
the
no, I got
ponytail,
coffee in
because
mine.
now
snacks are
nobody
missing.
suspects the ponytail has a gun.
No,
My
they
fanny
just
pack usually has
suspect
snacks
something
in
else. All right, it is midnight plus half an hour where you're at, sir.
I'm
We've
glad
been doing
that-
this
I've still got.
2 hours.
I have 2.5 hours more before my bedtime.
What were you
That's
gonna do
nice.
if he didn't tell you what time it was?
That's my
Like,
way
you'd
of
have been
saying
so
you've been
lost.
doing this show for 2 hours and 20 minutes. I need to fucking go to bed. So
Sam has autism
Yeah.
too.
since I have the ability to push the button, I'm getting out of here. You guys can stay if you want. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
I'm sad your name's not actually Dave, because that would have been great.
I hope you get a great influx of Glock 22 holster orders.
I do a lot of them already, so bring them on.
So hopefully
Yeah.
the listeners are listening and not just
Being dirtbags.
yeah.
I'll definitely be hitting you up for a chest rig for sure.
For sure. Well, leave us a review, or I will hire a gang of hitmen to come to your house, and Klecker will make a holster for your grave, like an entire body Kydex holster that they're gonna shove you in and throw you in the dirt.
How
Go
would
to
the
LGH
retention work?
You just stomp hard enough. The little bit of red comes out of the bottom of the holster. That's how you know he's in there. Go to lghpodcast.com, click and support the show. Leave us a review. Follow a link to your favorite podcast, Brain Beamer, and leave us a review. Email contacts at lghpodcast.com, and I will send you a sticker pack, and I will not rub them on my nuts. Support the show and take a buddy hunting. If you like that buddy, tell him about our show. If you don't like that buddy, use my insult about Mike on him, and then email Dave and let him know. Hit us up at lghpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and let's go hunt.
I got to say one thing real quick.
No.
At 24 minutes, I changed Mike's name And if you want to see it, you got to go back and watch.
It's a
I
good
just
one.
noticed it too.
Okay, bye bye.
Fucking douchebag.
I
I did not know